Imagine a big room full of powerful people from all over the world. They are all waiting for something important. The air is heavy. Everyone is watching. In the middle of the room stands a young African president. His name is Ibrahim Traoré. He is not afraid. He is ready to speak. But then something happens that no one expects. An American officer stands up and interrupts him. The room goes silent. What will happen next? Will the young president lose his words? Will he get angry? Or will he show the world the true power of Africa? This is the story of that day. This is the story of how one reply can silence a whole room. President Ibrahim Traoré is not just any leader. He is the youngest president in Africa. He grew up in a small village in Burkina Faso. He knows what it means to work hard. He knows what it means to dream big. He knows the pain of his people. He also knows their strength. On this day, he is not wearing gold or fancy clothes. He is wearing a simple suit. He walks to the front of the room. Some people smile. Some people whisper. Some people doubt him, but everyone is curious. What will he say? He starts his speech with a story. He talks about his village. He talks about the old women who tell stories under the big baobab tree. He talks about the men who work in the fields. He talks about the children who dream of a better life. He says Africa is not poor. Africa is rich in spirit. Africa is rich in hope. His words are simple, but they are strong. People in the room start to listen. He talks about the past. He talks about the pain of colonization. He talks about the fight for freedom. He talks about the present. He talks about the problems Africa faces. He talks about the need for unity. Then he talks about the future. He talks about the dreams of young Africans. He says we want to build. We want to create. We want to lead. But then something happens. The American officer stands up. He does not wait for the president to finish. He speaks loudly. He says, "Mr. President, with all due respect, how can you talk about independence when your country and many others in Africa still depend on aid from countries like mine? How can you say Africa is ready to rise when you still need our help?" The question is sharp. It is meant to challenge him. Some people in the room nod. Some people look away. The room is tense. What will President Traoré do? He does not get angry. He does not shout. He smiles. It is a calm, confident smile. He looks at the officer. He looks at everyone in the room. He says, "In my village, we have a saying. The hand that gives is always above the hand that receives." For many years, Africa has been the hand below. Always receiving. Always waiting. But what happens when the hand below learns to plant, to build, to create? It rises, it becomes equal. The room is quiet. Everyone is listening. He continues. Aid is not a gift. It is a chain. It keeps us dependent. True friends do not keep each other in chains. True friends walk side by side. Africa does not want to beg. Africa wants to build. We invite the world to build with us, not for us. The officer sits down. His question is answered. Not with anger, not with fear, but with wisdom and pride. President Traoré is not finished. He tells another story. He says, "Let me tell you about the baobab tree. It is strong. Its roots are deep. When the wind blows, the baobab does not fall. Why? Because its roots hold it firm. Africa's roots are our culture, our people, our dreams. No storm can uproot us if we remember who we are." He looks around the room. He says, "We do not reject friendship, but we will not trade our roots for branches. We will stand tall together." The room is silent. Then slowly people start to clap. First softly, then louder. Soon the whole room is filled with applause. News of his speech spreads around the world. Some people call him brave. Some people call him defiant. But in Africa, he becomes a legend. Young people everywhere are inspired. They see a leader who is not afraid to speak the truth. They see a leader who reminds the world that dignity is not for sale. After the summit, many people want to meet President Traoré. Some want to thank him. Some want to learn from him. Young people write him letters. They say, "Your words changed my life." In schools across Africa, teachers tell the story of the day President Traoré silenced the room. They tell their students, "You can be like him. You can be strong. You can speak the truth." In villages and cities, people gather under the baobab tree. They share the story. They remember the old saying, "True wealth is not in gifts, but in the strength of your own hands." But what happened after that day? President Traoré did not stop. He traveled to many countries. He met other leaders. He spoke at more meetings. Each time he shared the same message. He said, Africa is ready. We do not want to be seen as weak. We want to be seen as partners. He visited schools and talked to children. He visited farms and talked to workers. He listened to their problems. He listened to their dreams. He told them, you are the future. You are the hope of Africa. One day he visited a small school in a dusty village. The children were sitting on old benches. Some had no shoes, but their eyes were bright. They wanted to learn. President Traoré sat with them. He asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? One boy said, I want to be a doctor. A girl said, I want to be a teacher. Another boy said, I want to be president like you. President Traoré smiled. He said, you can be anything. You must believe in yourself. You must work hard. Never let anyone tell you that you are less. He told them a story about a small bird. The bird was weak. The other animals laughed at it, but the bird did not give up. Every day it tried to fly. It fell many times, but it kept trying. One day the wind was strong. The bird jumped. The wind lifted it high. The bird flew above the trees. The other animals watched in surprise. President Traoré said, you are like that bird. People may doubt you, but if you keep trying, you will fly. He left the school, but the children did not forget his words. They told their parents. The parents told their neighbors. Soon the whole village was talking about the president's visit. They felt proud. They felt strong. They started to work together. They fixed the school roof. They planted more crops. They helped each other. The village began to change. President Traoré also met with business leaders. He told them, Africa has many resources. We have gold, we have cotton, we have land. But our greatest resource is our people. We must invest in our people. We must give them education. We must give them jobs. Some business leaders agreed. They started new projects. They built factories. They trained young people. Slowly, more people found work. More families had food on the table. But not everyone was happy. Some people in other countries did not like what President Traoré was saying. They wanted Africa to stay weak. They wanted Africa to depend on their aid. They tried to stop him. They spread lies about him in the news. They said he was too proud. They said he was making trouble. But President Traoré did not stop. He said, I will not be silent. I will speak for my people. I will speak for Africa. One day he was invited to another big meeting. This time there were even more leaders. The room was even bigger. The lights were bright. The cameras were everywhere. President Traoré walked to the front. He looked at the crowd. He said, Africa is not a problem to be solved. Africa is a partner to be respected. Some people clapped. Some people frowned. But everyone listened. He told a story about a river. He said, a river starts as a small stream. It is weak. It can be blocked by a stone. But as it moves, it grows. It joins with other streams. It becomes strong. It becomes a river that cannot be stopped. Africa is like that river. We are joining together. We are becoming strong. No one can stop us if we work together. After the meeting, a young woman from another country came to him. She said, your words touched my heart. I want to help Africa. What can I do? President Traoré smiled. He said, you can be a true friend. You can listen. You can respect us. You can work with us, not above us. The young woman nodded. She promised to help. Back in Burkina Faso, people were watching. They saw their president on TV. They felt proud. They felt hope. They started to believe in themselves. They started to dream bigger dreams. Young people started new businesses. Farmers tried new ways to grow crops. Teachers taught their students to be proud of their history. President Traoré knew there would be hard days. He knew there would be people who tried to stop him. But he also knew that change was possible. He remembered the words of his grandmother. She used to say, a tree that stands alone is weak, but a forest is strong. We must stand together. He shared this message everywhere he went. He visited other African countries. He met other young leaders. They talked about their dreams. They talked about their problems. They promised to help each other. They started new projects together. They built roads. They built schools. They shared ideas. They became a team. One day, President Traoré was walking in a market. He saw an old man selling fruit. The man's hands were rough. His face was tired, but his eyes were kind. President Traoré bought some fruit. He asked, how is business? The old man said, it is hard. But I do not give up. I work for my family. I work for my country. President Traoré nodded. He said, "You are a hero. People like you are the strength of Africa." He told this story at his next speech. He said that the real heroes are not always famous. They are the mothers who wake up early to cook for their children. They are the fathers who work in the fields. They are the teachers who teach in small schools. They are the young people who dream of a better life. These are the people who will build Africa. The world started to notice. More people wanted to visit Africa. More people wanted to invest. More people wanted to learn. President Traoré welcomed them. He said, "Come and see our beauty. Come and see our strength. Come and see our hope." He showed them the cities. He showed them the villages. He showed them the people. But he also warned them. He said, "Do not come to take. Come to share. Do not come to teach. Come to learn. Do not come to lead. Come to walk with us." Some people understood. Some people did not. But President Traoré kept speaking the truth. He met with young people everywhere he went. He listened to their ideas. He encouraged them to start businesses. He encouraged them to study hard. He encouraged them to believe in themselves. He said, "You are the future. You are the hope. Never forget that." He also worked to bring peace. He met with leaders from different groups. He listened to their problems. He helped them find solutions. He said, "We are one family. We must not fight each other. We must work together." Slowly, people started to trust each other. Slowly, peace began to grow. President Traoré's story spread across Africa. It spread across the world. People started to tell his story in their own words. They told it in schools. They told it in markets. They told it in homes. It became a story of hope. It became a story of pride. It became a story of Africa. So, what can we learn from this story? We learn that one voice can make a difference. We learn that courage is stronger than fear. We learn that respect is more powerful than money. We learn that true friends walk side by side. We learn that the future belongs to those who believe in themselves. This is the story of President Ibrahim Traoré, the American officer who interrupted him, and the reply that silenced the room. It is a story of courage, a story of wisdom, a story of Africa, and it is a story that will be told for generations to come. A story that reminds us all to stand tall, honor our roots, and never be afraid to speak the truth. Thank you for listening to this story. If you felt inspired, if you learned something new, or if you believe in the power of African voices, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Here we share more stories of courage, hope, and wisdom from Africa and beyond. Hit the subscribe button, like this video, and share it with your friends. Your support helps us bring more powerful stories to the world. Remember, every story can change a life. Stay proud, stay strong, and see you in the next story.